to the Female Mixing Engineers Music Podcast. I'm Darcy Jevons, and I am going to take you on a journey with 4 fabulous songs, okay? And they are created in studios by 4 very talented females in unique home studio settings. So I'm glad you are here. Don't forget to visit Female Mixing Engineers Music Podcast website. That would be femalemixingengineers.com. If you want to say hello, if you want to get aired on the show, if you want to ask a question about mixing, mastering, editing, production, use that little voicemail button on the side of the page. And we'd love to hear from you and maybe air your comments or questions on the show. All right. You are here for show number 2. I'm so happy you are here. And you will be listening to 4 great tracks today that are just going to blow your socks off, okay? I wanted to make, I like to start these shows off with just a little bit of chat, all right? You're going to get used to that. You got to hear me talk, all right? I have this idea that we just have to do it, okay? As females, or even guys too, it's very daunting when you open up your digital audio workstation, your DAW, your DAW, whatever you want to call it, for the first time, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is just like too ridiculous. I remember that happened with me. I was at the university and I was a music major, and I remember I wasn't taking any kind of recording or production classes at that time, but I was taking a sound design class, and I just switched over to Macs, and the class required Logic Pro. So I got Logic. I think it was back Logic 7 or Logic 8. I don't remember. And I remember when I first opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, and I want to learn how to do this. I had no clue what I was looking at. You just have to do it. Just do it. That's the theme of this show. Just do it. Okay, and you're never going to know how it sounds until you just do it. Okay, so there's this term that I want to go over. It's called noise floor. Without getting too technical, the noise floor is like a measurement of unwanted sound or signal. Usually it's kind of a background noise or electronics appear in audio. You hear it a lot, and sometimes it can add some flavor, and sometimes it doesn't, and you want to get rid of it. So let's just look at it this way. When we're recording, we try and reduce that noise floor. We try and get the background noise to be as minimal as possible and capture the sound as real as we can without anything interfering. Okay, it's extremely important to do that in a recording environment. So we soundproof our rooms, or we do whatever we need to do to capture the best sound we can when we're recording. If you look at it this way, okay, so if the human ear in a very quiet setting can hear a pin drop, it literally can hear a pin drop, but you add some air conditioner or fan or outside traffic into that sound, you're not going to hear the pin anymore. That's just normal. That's the environment. So when we listen to our music in a room that's been treated, we're going to hear everything. If our room is treated well, we're going to hear everything. But that's not how the average person is going to listen to it, right? You've got to think about it. We soundproof our rooms, and we check mixes in these rooms, but it's so vitally important, as far as I'm concerned, this is my 2 cents, to check your mixes in other environments. Check it in the car when you're driving and there's traffic. Check it on your earbuds, not just because you're going to get a different frequency mix, but also you're going to get outside sounds. The television might be playing in the background, or your air conditioner's on, like I said, or refrigerator, or whatever outside noise that's going to be there that people generally listen to their music with. All right. So if you have something in your mix that is at such a low volume and it's really, really vital to the emotional content of your mix, and then you bring it in your car and you can't hear it anymore, this is important knowledge to have. That's why it's so important to know that your mix travels well. And you're not going to know that unless you dive in and do it and then take it with you. I listen to mixes all the time when I'm shopping. I think in waitressing, they used to call it working both ways. You found something to do while you were doing something else. And Boy, that brings back memories. Anyway, I like to listen when I'm shopping. I listen to mixes. I make mental notes. I like to listen when I'm driving, and I make little written notes like, oh, gee, that bass is coming in a little bit too heavy, or I can't hear that word in that vocal. Whereas in a studio environment, you're gonna hear it differently. That's what's so important. It's not even just it's not just about your speakers or your headphones that the music is playing on, but also the other elements that are going to mask the sound once it gets out into an environment where people are truly listening to your stuff. Um, I know that the lower the noise floor is, the less your ears have to battle, but our ears are constantly battling noise floor as we go throughout our day, listening to music. So if you hear, I used to think about this before when we used to listen to stuff on the radio, okay? They played on the radio and it sounded awesome, right? But you felt it was a treat once you went and bought the album and you started listening to it on your headphones because you started hearing things that you didn't necessarily hear when you heard it on the radio. I understand that concept, but the most important thing is that the important elements of your mix need to be heard over the traffic, over the fans, over the screaming of your neighbors, whatever noise you're battling out there. So if your rooms are already, not as soundproofed as you would like, that might actually work to your advantage in some ways. Headphones are great to mix, but use a reference track. Okay, so if you have a reference track that sounds great in your car, and you have a reference track that sounds great while you're cooking in the kitchen and you're listening to music that's playing in the other room, you can get an idea of how your music is going to sound and how the important elements are transferring in environments. So if you want to get really techie, you can download this app that is a frequency analyzer to see what frequencies are in the room that you listen to your music in. Okay, this is not talking about your studio, it's just your listening environment, and that's kind of fun. You can also find an SPL or sound pressure level meter that can help and make things a little bit fun. I personally like to get a little bit techie, and I don't know, I find it interesting. But beyond all of that, we have our song, we have our music. It's got to transfer well. If an important element of your song is the vocal breathiness, or that breath that she's taking right before that really meaningful lyric, you've got to make sure that comes through, not just in your studio where the environment has no sound to fight. Okay, so that's my little take for today as far as advice and thinking about problems that I've had in the past and how I've grown. If you have anything to say about that, please leave a message on Facebook. Give us a shout out on Twitter. Go to femalemixingengineers.com and leave a voicemail. And right now I believe it's time to go to our first female who is being featured on podcast number 2. All right, so let's do it. All right, so our first lady that we are going to feature is Aubrey Whitfield. Now, Aubrey founded her own record label called Tube Records. She is from the UK. She's awesome. All right, that's pretty much my word of the day. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, she is an outstanding producer. She's a remixer, and she's also a performer and songwriter in her own right, but she has an impressive list of artists that she has produced. I think it's very important that we feature females that are not only producing and mixing their own music, which of course is very important, but that are hired to do this for other people. And there's reasons for that. This woman is outstanding. Her skills are on a level that will take you away. She has a tour of her home studio. I put a link in the show notes that's on YouTube, and it's kind of fun to see her walk around and show you her gear, and I loved watching that. I felt like I was visiting her over there in across the pond. All right, so she uses a Neumann, it depends on where you live, how you pronounce that one, U87 mic for her vocals when she records herself and others. She has a vocal plugin called an API Vision Channel Strip. And she's not afraid of using presets, okay? Which means she uses whatever she wants to use to get the great sound that she gets. Isn't that what it's about? I mean, you're going to hear people say, oh, presets, don't use presets. I mean, whatever. If it sounds good and fits your mix, maybe that preset was exactly the right setting you needed. So, hey. She uses a Waves CLA3 compressor. She uses a Waves SSL compressor on the master bus, which is kind of cool. She uses a Native Instruments machine, MASCHINE, for drum beats. Her DAW is a Logic Pro, and her secret weapon, she likes to call it, is her Axiom Pro 2 MIDI controller. She uses KRK rockets, with she has a little secret of getting a natural sound, which is kind of cool. If you go to her little video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So the song that we're going to feature of hers is called Love Obsession. The artist is Myraid Furlong. Gosh, I hope I said that right. The artist said you pronounce her name like lemonade. So it's Maread, Myraid Furlong. It's an amazing pop song. I also put a link to this artist's song to buy if you would like, but the skills of Aubrey Whitfield's production and mixing are off the charts. And here is Love Obsession.
Oh, you knew that you could have my heart anytime you wanted to. Like a piece of paper stuck together with super glue. I couldn't let go of you. Everything you did kept bringing me closer to you. And now this crazy feeling has got me all wrapped up in you. Oh, 'cause when I wake up in the morning, well, the first thing that I think about is you. When I'm jamming my guitar, well, the only song I'm singing is I love you. Oh, I keep coming back and forth, and even though I try,
How was that, folks? That was like one talented mix engineer. Aubrey, you rock very, very hard. And I know we're going to have a lot more of your music on the show. Also, some of the ones that you have written and performed yourself, because, folks, Aubrey has a rockin' voice, and she's a great songwriter as well. But this time, I wanted to feature one of the songs that she had done for somebody else. So, any of you ladies out there who aspire to become mix engineers and recording engineers, but you don't necessarily want to do it for your own music, hey, here you go. And if you want to learn more about Aubrey and contact her for any reason, as I said, the links are in the show notes. All right, so there's Aubrey Whitfield for you, and we're going to move on to female number 2. Okay, our next very young mix engineer is a young lady, Mikalyn Hay. Okay. I hope I said that right, Mikalyn, because I'm keeping my eye on you. You're amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is 14 years old, and you are going to understand. I also teach. That's another one of my music income streams. At 14 years old, this girl rocks. She has a voice that'll knock your socks off. And in this particular track, this is a demo. All right, now I have been very fortunate to hear the fully produced version of this, and you will hear it too, because I believe it might be released about the same time this podcast is coming out. I'm putting links to everything that involves Mikalyn Hay in the show notes. This particular song is a demo. We don't talk about demos too much, but demos are so important to capture a sound and an emotion so that you can promote that song, whether it be to producers or other, whoever you're promoting it to. They need to feel the song and want to work with it. So she has done a tremendous job in this demo. It's piano and vocal, but you will get chills when you hear this. It's so moving. It's co-written with Murray Daigle and Bobby John. Okay, it's a pop song, but this is what I like to call the acoustic version. She's from Ontario, Canada, and she is up and coming. She has won the TalentedNation.com tabletop records competition. She's placed high in multiple songwriting contests, including being a finalist in the ISC 2015. That's a pretty big teen category. That's amazing. Again, like I said, she is 14 years old. She uses an AT, I think that says 2020 mic, and she has an Apogee Duet interface, and she uses Logic Pro. I hope I pronounced that gear right, but she's seriously awesome. And without saying anything else, here we go with Mikalyn Hay and the song Mirror.
I dove right in, didn't bring a parachute, fell right through, hit the water hard, moving too fast, spiraling out of control, was touch and go, went a little far. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep a shoulder cold. No one walked away without a scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. Try to erase the ink that's left upon my chest. I'll attest, I don't really wanna forget to forget. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep a shoulder cold. No one walked away without a scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror.
So, hey, I don't really know what else to say about that except, yeah, that was seriously fantastic. And you will be amazed when you hear the fully produced version as well. So hopefully I will keep you updated on that. If it hasn't been released by the time this podcast airs, I will keep you updated. If you follow us on Twitter, I will send a link as soon as I hear it. And that was Mikalyn Hay. Good for you, Mikalyn Hay. You know, just keep on doing what you're doing. And you sound so beyond your years. All right, which is a good thing, actually, okay? Anyway, let's move on to our next female. And here we go. So, CJ La, I think that's Clara Jane, I believe, yes. All right, this is tech house music, all right? No vocals, instrumental. What's great about this track is it makes me visualize myself in like a convertible driving down PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, to people who don't know that. And my hair blowing in the wind and just cranking this puppy up. You know, tech house music is something that is very popular, and I think it's really popular in Europe too. Not that it's not popular here in the US, but a lot of people that I see talking about it happen to live in Europe. She studied music. CJ La studied music technology. And what's great about her is before that, she worked as a Kylie Minogue impersonator, and she first appeared on the X Factor back in 2004. I thought that was pretty cool. Her music's been picked up by international dance music label that's called Elveda Music, and they picked up this track that you're going to hear. She also was signed with a label works in England, I believe is what it is. She has a link to Beatport, so I have included that in the show notes. She uses a CDJ 400 and a Pioneer mixer, and she works with Cubase, Ableton, and Pro Tools. Okay, so something about tech house. It's a subgenre of house music, and it mixes elements of techno with house music. Hey, that makes sense. Basic structure as house music, and it's house music is a genre of electronic music or EDM. CJ says that her house music is a spiritual thing, it's a body thing and a soul thing. And you know, I kind of get that, because when I cranked this up and I'm driving, I want you to know that all the artists on all these shows, I listen to their music, like I loop it and I just immerse myself in it. And this particular track, which is called Oblivion, by the way. Oblivion, I felt like I was driving along and just getting lost in the beat and the bass. So here we go. I hope you get lost in it too. Oblivion by CJ La. Here we go. So my foot is still tapping. That was like, I got lost in that. CJ, you totally rock. And to all of you listeners, if you go to Beatport to purchase this song, because I'm including the link in the show notes, listen to other tech house music or EDM music there as well. It's kind of fun to listen to it and just lose yourself in it. So thank you, CJ. I know we're going to be hearing more from you on this show. And thanks for sharing your skills with us. Now we're going to move on to our next female. Hey. So our next girl is an LA girl. Her name is Vanessa Silberman. All right. Vanessa is so busy touring. She is one heck of a busy artist touring, and it's amazing she had time to spend with us. She has a sound that you are going to love. She uses a mobile setup, for recording in different homes, hotels, and bathrooms. Get that. I mean, she doesn't let anything stop her recording. A few of the vocals for this particular track were recorded at her boyfriend's house, her boyfriend, Kyle Black's studio, and he plays bass on the track as well. He played the bass hook. So she recorded, programmed, and played 99% of this track. She likes a plugin called Bomb Factory Compressor, and she uses Pro Tools, all you Pro Tools people out there, but she also uses Logic and Ableton. And for vocals, she uses Newman's, or she also recorded with an Electro Voice RE20 and an AKG 414. Her mobile rig includes a laptop, a couple of mics, including the AKG 414, and a few dynamics. So this lady, she takes it on the road and she gets a sound wherever she's at, because, she travels so much. Home is wherever you are. So her home studio is a traveling studio. I think that's really cool. Okay. She also has a Wikipedia page, get that, and I've provided a link to that. She runs an artist development label called A Diamond Heart Production. So she uses a lot of reverse effects processing on her cymbals in this particular track. And without any further chatting by me, we're going to hear the song entitled Shine by Vanessa Silberman.
Gonna shine a light for you. like a diamond too. Shine a light for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Starry nights, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's time that I told you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine like a diamond too. Shine a light for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Starry nights, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's time that I told you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine like a diamond too.
You know, as much as I could go on talking about each one of the artists on this show, I mean, I would love to tell you everything about them because I like to immerse myself in each one of their lives by going to all of their sites and learning more about them. Each one of these ladies is an amazing human, you know? I mean, just a female that is trying to tackle the realm of audio is one pretty awesome female. I want to say that with Vanessa and Shine, just go to her social media pages that I've included in the link. Get to know her artistry. Like I said, she travels a lot. You might even be able to see her. You never know where her next show is going to be. So that song Shine just left me with such a great feeling. And I think with that, we are going to end this show. As I said, please go and shout out to us on Twitter, Female Mixing Engineers on Twitter, Facebook page, and femalemixingengineers.com. Leave a voicemail with any kind of questions so we can air you on the show, or just shout out to any of these females that you've heard and say, man, that was great. I love that song, or whatever you want to say. And we might air you on the show. So with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and we'll see you in the future. And remember, it's always about the song. All right? See you next time.